Stranger Man the Dragon. We're coming at you today with something that you can apply, take away, and use straight away. It's going to be a squat peak. Now, I know squat is not the most fundamental or important lift in strongman, but a training program like this is going to have huge benefit to you overall as an athlete. We're not just training it to get a bigger squat. We're going to get a huge hypertrophy effect. Talking about the old bro days to shock the body, you will definitely shock the body with this one, because we're going to go into rep ranges and energy systems that most people don't really stray into in the training, and it gives a really good adaptation first time you run this training cycle. It's really simple to run. Anyone can understand it, anyone can do it, and I would almost guarantee that you'll get a squat PB at the end of it, as well as getting some great body composition changes if your diet's in check, and some great changes in the size and mass of your legs. It's going to help you produce more force in your deadlifts, be more stable and quick on your yokes. It's going to have loads of good carryover. So we'll get straight into it, and we'll start from week 1. Now, it's a pretty simple progression that we're going to use. We're literally just doing a linear progression of dropping the rep range down. But as you can see here, we're starting at quite a high rep range in the 20s, which is something that often strongmen don't tend to venture much past the 5 or 8 rep maxes. So this is why we're going to get this huge benefit, is actually these first 3 weeks. You could actually call these first 3 weeks an accumulation phase if you wanted to, and then going into a more specific phase later on down these last 3 or 4 weeks. So 20 rep max we're going to do at RPE 6. Now, RPE is the rate of perceived exertion scale. If you don't know what it is, best way to think about it is out of 10 how hard it is. So a 6 out of 10 how hard that is. Now, everyone says this first time I give this to them is, what the hell should I be looking at squatting for 20 reps? I would say if you're a percentage person, to start at 50% here for RPE 6. That's usually roughly a decent place to start. Now we're going to use that for 3 sets of 10 afterwards. So this workout will look like, let's say you've got 100 kilo back squat. You'll do 50 kilo back squat for 20, then you'll die on the floor for a bit, and then you'll do 3 sets of 10 afterwards at the same weight. This is day 1. I recommend day 1 be a Monday or a Tuesday. Day 2 of the week, I recommend this be a Thursday or a Friday, depending on which day you chose your first day to be on. So basically we've got 3 days in between. So this is going to be the exact same workout with a higher RPE scale, RPE death, aka RPE nothing left in the tank. So again, percentage people, maybe 60-65% as a guess, but what I want you to do is be intuitive about it, I think is the word, where you basically see how hard was this day. You know what I mean? If you did your 50 kilos for 20 and it wasn't that bad, maybe you can go a little heavier here, you know? The only thing you can do wrong is start failing reps. So as long as if we get this right, you want to be hitting the 20th rep and thinking, I could not have done 21. And that way you've got the weight selection perfectly correct. Now, we're then going to do 2 sets of 10 at the same weight. There's a little bit less volume because the intensity is a little higher. And again, this first week here, we're going to go into a different energy system than usual. We're usually in that initial energy system, the creatine phosphate system. But because of the amount of time it takes to do 20 reps, we're going to start venturing into our glucose-based energy system. And even for some people, if it's taking long enough, you might get quite aerobic towards the end and feel like you can't get a breath and you can't breathe because of the changes in energy system. So this is why it's just great for an overall athlete. Now, going into week 2, exactly the same principle for the week structure, but we're doing a 15 rep max at RPE 7, 3 sets of 8. Now, I've drawn this arrow here because what a good rule of thumb is, whatever you hit for your 20 rep max, RPE death will be a pretty decent weight for the easier set of 15. And then we're going to go into day 2, and we're going to take that further to a heavy set of 15 RPE death again, yeah? Remember, this set of 15 here, the goal is you get your 15th rep and you're thinking, I could not have done 16 no matter what. Week 3, the end of the accumulation phase. We're going to do a 10 rep max. Again, I've wrote here, the 15 rep max RPE death is roughly correct for the 10 rep max RPE 7. And then we're going to use that for 3 sets of 6. Then we're going to go into day 2, which is 10 rep max RPE sole. Like I say, leave nothing in the tank. The weights are going to be creeping up here, so you're going to be getting quite heavy. Your legs are going to be getting quite beat up. You might be a little bit fatigued at this point, but don't worry, it's the end of the accumulation phase after this day. So then we go into week 4. Now, day 1 of week 4 is a deload. So you're not having a full deload week, you're just having this deload session here. So I've put 10 sets of 3 at 60%, speed, technique focused. Okay, that's going to give you a bit of recovery and, you know, just help you basically recover from this previous 3 weeks of just being absolutely brutalized. Now, day 2, we're picking up exactly where we left off. 8 rep max, RP 100. Again, you're trying to beat this 10 rep max. We've dropped the rep range, we want to get more load on. Then you're going to do 3 sets of 4 with that same weight. Now, this is when we're starting to transition into a more specific heavy phase. So the weights are going to start getting a little heavier. The energy system is going to be in that initial energy system, and we're going to be looking to ramp the load and get more weight on the bar, more intensity. So week 5, 5 rep max, RP 8. Use that for 3 by 3. Again, the 8 rep max you got for RP 100 is probably about right for this. So that's why I've got these arrows here. Day 2, same protocol all the way through. 5 rep max, RP death. This time though, we're doing no drop sets because, you know, the training principles of getting stronger are volume, frequency and intensity. At the moment, we've got quite decent frequency twice a week, and we had quite a lot of volume at the start, but not a lot of intensity. Intensity being the weight on the barbell. Because we get down here now, the intensity is getting really high. We need to drop the volume a little bit to help recovery. So that's why we're getting no drop sets there. Now, as we go into week 6, we're following the same principle again. 3 rep max this time, RP 7 to 8. Drop 10% for 3 by 3 for your drop sets. And again, the 5 rep max RP death will be roughly a good weight to use for the 3 rep max here. Coming now into the final week of training before we deload and remax. So it's a 3 rep max, again, no drop sets. And that is your 6-week training protocol done. All there is left to do is the final week where we deload and then retest a 1 rep max. So basically day 1 is going to be 7 sets of 3 at 50%, and then you retake a max. Something I want to go over here is some people would usually take a deload week before they take a rep max. I think that is a silly thing to do on a program like this because basically all the way through it, you've got your body into this routine like clockwork, yeah? All the way through it. We don't just want to take a week off. The body is adapting to this. It will be getting, trust me, it'll be getting easier. By the time you're here, you'll be in a good flow. You might feel a bit fatigued, that's why I got the deload, but you'll be in a good flow. Your sessions will be going well, your legs will be feeling strong, you feel like you can press anything through your legs, quads will be blowing up, you'll feel class. So don't neurologically detrain yourself by taking a week off. Do that speed session there, even though it's only 50%, 7 sets of 3, by moving the weight fast, explosively, with good technique. You're going to prime yourself and recover yourself to just absolutely smash your 1 rep max. Wouldn't be surprised if you added 20 kilos, 40, 50 pounds to your squat. It's a great cycle, and it's something to have in the back pocket to run once a year, and you'll always get good results from it, not just on the squat, but as an all-around athlete. I hope this was helpful. Remember to follow me on Instagram at MSD Systems.